Let's go Dolphins! This isn't just another slow start to the season. What I'm about to tell you could signal the end of the McDaniel era, a complete overhaul of the front office, and a roster shakeup that could change the future of the franchise forever. But here's the kicker. There's one change that could still save everything, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. So, before we begin, like this if you're a true Dolphins fan who's been on this roller coaster for years. Comment let's go, Dolphins. We can still make it to the Super Bowl if you still believe there's hope. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of what I'm about to reveal. The Dolphins are officially 0-2, and although other teams like the Bears, Vikings, and even the Chiefs are in similar boats, what's happening in Miami isn't just a record problem, it's a structural crisis. The loss to the Patriots revealed more than a lack of execution. It unveiled a broken culture, questionable leadership, and a coaching staff completely out of sync with the talent they have. Let's start with Mike McDaniel. After another brutal loss, McDaniel said, "To win games, you have to win the games, not lose the games." Seriously? That's the kind of insight that's supposed to rally the team? That statement right there summarizes the depth, or lack thereof, of this coaching regime. And the truth is, the same mistakes are repeating: penalties, delay of game, poor game management, questionable play calls, lack of halftime adjustments. It's been this way since 2022. No evolution, no growth, nothing. Tua, for his part, had some moments of brilliance. In the second and third quarters, he looked like the guy Dolphins fans believed in. His connection with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle gave flashes of what this offense could be. But come the fourth quarter, the wheels fell off. Again. And while Tua talked about having conversations with McDaniel and Bevel, he avoided any serious self-critique. No, I need to be better. No ownership. Just vague references to talking with the guys and hoping things improve. That's not leadership. That's deflection. Meanwhile, Tyreek Hill, one of the few consistent bright spots, seems more ready for Buffalo than most. But we've heard this story before. Optimism leading up to a game only to be met with brutal reality when the whistle blows. Devon Achane, who actually played with heart and grit, is understandably frustrated. "The way we played today, that's not going to work up there," he said. And he's right. If this team shows up in Buffalo like they did against New England, it's going to be a massacre. And let's not forget the defensive nightmare. No pressure on the quarterback. Zero presence in the trenches. Anthony Weaver's unit has been a disaster, and yet somehow, there's still hope floating around that this pass rush can cover for a suspect secondary. That was Greer's vision. That was the gamble. And guess what? It failed. Miserably. The secondary is in shambles, the pressure isn't getting home, and now Josh Allen is next. This isn't just bad football, it's organizational malpractice. Mike McDaniel, if he loses to Buffalo, will be fired. And he should be. Thursday night might be his last game coaching the Miami Dolphins. He's stubborn, doesn't adapt, and seems more focused on his personal image than fixing a broken football team. We've seen it repeatedly: Skylar Thompson, Mike White, bubble screens into oblivion, and a refusal to adjust even when the league has clearly caught on to his scheme. It's frustrating to watch because the talent is there. But the coach? He's not. And then there's Chris Grier. Still here. Still hiding in the shadows. Still protected by ownership despite an avalanche of bad decisions and roster-building failures. Injuries have haunted this offensive line year after year, yet we're still slapping Band-Aids on gaping wounds. He let go of Jalen Ramsey, now thriving in Pittsburgh, thinking the pass rush could cover up the holes. And the most infuriating part? No accountability. Grier's still calling the shots, and the team still looks like a rudderless ship. Even the Dolphins' own media team seems checked out. No updated photos on the official site. No signs of engagement with fans. The beloved throwback jerseys? Nowhere to be seen. The franchise is disengaged from its own passionate fan base. It's like they're ashamed of the product on the field, and to be honest, who could blame them? You want to talk about jerseys? They're pushing NFL rivalry week jerseys but missing massive opportunities to connect with the fans. Where's the jersey with Zach Thomas or Larry Kasanka? Where's the respect for our Hall of Famers? Instead, we get toothpaste-colored uniforms and silence from the top brass. Now, if Stephen Ross wants to salvage this season, this franchise, he has one move to make. Fire McDaniel. Fire Grier. Let a new GM come in, evaluate the roster, decide the future of Tua, Tyreek, the defense, everything. Let someone competent reshape this team. Because if not, this team is looking at a 3-win season and a top 3 pick. And honestly, with the way things are trending, that might be generous. But here's the twist. Watch them beat Buffalo. Just watch. Somehow, against all odds, this team could show up Thursday, take down the Bills, then beat the Jets and head into October 2nd. That's the hope. That's the pain. That's being a Miami Dolphins fan. If the Dolphins do end up losing to Buffalo, and let's be real, every trend points in that direction, there can be no more rationalizations, no more holding back. The McDaniel experiment, no matter how hopeful it once felt, has flatlined. We're talking about a head coach who, in 3 seasons, has shown a total inability to adapt when teams figure out his system. That's fatal in the NFL. The warning signs were there early in 2022, but everyone chalked it up to growing pains. By 2023, a hot start covered the cracks, but the collapse at the end of that season should have been the red flag. Fast forward to 2024, and the team starts 2-6, only to claw their way back to 6-3 in the second half. That finish somehow saved jobs, but nothing actually changed. The same game mismanagement, the same late play calls, the same stubborn schemes. Dolphins fans, we've been here before, this asterisk is deja vu of the worst kind. And let's go back to that offensive line. Every offseason, the same promises are made, we've addressed it, we've got depth now, we're excited about these additions. But when the games actually start, injuries pile up, the line crumbles, and Tua's back to dancing in the pocket trying to survive. The James Daniels signing looked good on paper, sure, but even that came with red flags, Achilles issues, lingering doubts. And that wasn't even the injury that hit him. The whole approach is patchwork at best, irresponsible at worst. Then there's the defense, an absolute mess. The defensive line isn't getting pressure. Linebackers are missing assignments, and the secondary is in tatters. But Anthony Weaver's still calling plays, dropping edge rushers like Jalen Phillips into coverage instead of letting them attack. There's no identity, no aggression, no spine. The decision to trust the pass rush to cover for a depleted secondary was a gamble, and it backfired spectacularly. Let's not sugarcoat it. This team is lost. Players look uninspired. The body language on the sideline screams resignation. Tua is frustrated. Tyreek is trying to stay positive. And even though guys like a chain are giving everything they have, effort alone won't win games in this league. Not without leadership, not without direction. And that's the scariest part. There's no direction. From top to bottom, the Dolphins are drifting. Ownership is absent. Management is ineffective. Coaching is failing. And the players, many of whom are still young and incredibly talented, are paying the price. This is how franchises waste prime years. This is how locker rooms fracture. And let's not even get started on the optics. The Dolphins' media silence, the throwback jersey debacle, the merchandising misfires, these might seem small in the grand scheme, but they're symptoms of a franchise that doesn't understand its fan base. The disconnect is real, and it's growing. That passion, that loyalty that's kept Dolphins Nation alive through decades of mediocrity, it's being taken for granted. So what's the path forward? It's time to reset. Fire McDaniel. Fire Greer. Bring in a GM who isn't tied to the current mistakes. Let that GM evaluate Tua with no bias. Decide whether he's your future or not. Explore trade options. Start accumulating draft capital. The Tyreek Hill trade window is closing. Use it before it's too late. Because the worst thing this franchise can do is stand still while the rest of the league moves forward. And no, Anthony Weaver is not the answer. The defense is his mess, and promoting him to interim would only amplify the dysfunction. The smart move? Promote Darrell Bevell. He's been there before. He can steady the ship and delegate the offense to someone with fresh ideas. It's not about saving the season anymore. It's about salvaging the future. Let Bevell assess who should stay, who needs to go, and who's part of the rebuild. Because that's what this is now. A rebuild.